Hello, my gorgeous group ones. Welcome to your reading. If you chose thumbnail image 1 or option 1, however you got here, welcome. Thank you for joining me here today. Today's reading is going to be about how do men view you versus how women view you, okay? So I'm going to be using 2 tarot decks in today's reading. This side is for how men view you. This side is for how women view you. And we're going to be choosing from a few different questions. So the first card is going to be first impression. Second card is going to be your overall appearance. And then your third card, is going to be your overall vibe, their opinion of your overall vibe. So 3 cards over here, 3 cards over here, men over here, women over here. Let's hope I remember that in your reading, okay? If there's not enough space, we'll do men, put them to the side, and then just put the women. So all the cards are on the table, but they may not all be in frame. I apologize for that. I'm still trying to figure out how to get a better angle. Okay, so let's get into it. We're going to start off with the men's deck. We're using the Cozy Witch for them. I just thought it would be funny and cute, okay? That could be something men think you are. They view you as funny and cute. Because I just saw, it went away, but there was a card at the bottom of the deck. It was the card where she's wearing a very cozy blue sweater with clouds on it. And there it is. A cozy blue sweater with clouds on it, and this does give you very comfy and cozy. But it's funny how it's coming out in the strength card. It takes great strength to be soft, but it's like they respect you more for being soft in a world where you're applauded for being more uncaring and unfeeling. So you you still are able to be soft and caring and warm in a world where everyone is kind of jaded, you know? But let's get into the cards. I'm trying to keep this very surface level because my readings tend to get so long. But cute and funny is coming through. So please, Spirit, for my group ones, how do men view them? Their first impression of my group ones, please, Spirit. I'm also hearing homely, so that could be something coming through as well. You're cute, funny, and homely. Okay, now I'm hearing a song by, what is her name? I'm forgetting her name, but it's called The Funny Fat Friend, okay? I think it's Maddie's, something with a Z. And basically she talks about how, she's like, you can't be too smart. You can't be too pretty. If I say something, are they still gonna like me? The life of the funny fat friend. Okay, I think it's Maddie Zam or something like that. So you could have that very much, not even Girl Next Door, but like, that's the best way I can describe the funny fat friend, where it's like, you know, the movie that came out a few years ago, it was called The Duff, the designated ugly fat friend, but the girl in the movie wasn't the Duff. She was just the least attractive, funny, homely, weird, quirky kind of friend, and she ended up the hottest guy, period. Okay, that part there. But it's kind of giving, that's the kind of vibe you give off to men. You know how men love to put people in categories. They're very ghetto, I understand, we know this. That's the vibe that's coming through for you guys. You're cute, you're funny, and the opposite of that would be, she's saying that she can't be too smart, she can't be too pretty, she can't be too funny. If she speaks up too much, are they still gonna like her? Is kind of giving how the girls like her to be in that position. So girls could try to belittle you and make you feel small, but we'll get into that when we get to the women's side. I just wanted to point that out in case I forget to by the time I get to the women's side. But in that song, it's kind of like the girls like her to be in that category of the funny fat friend, because if she's too funny, too smart, too pretty, she'll overshadow them, and then they're going to be mean to her, you know? So first impression, please, for how do my men view my group ones? Please, Spirit, their first impression. You want only 1 card. We don't want a whole bunch of cards. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, we have 2. I'll take 2. That's fine. Okay. How do they view their appearance? Please, Spirit, my group ones. How do they view my group ones' appearance? And how do men view my group ones' appearance? I think this is the Page of Cups. Yeah, you give off like Knight of Cups. Very much like, you know, hopeless romantic, in love with life, in love with the world. It's kind of giving, what's her name? Her name is Harper from Wizards of Waverly Place. How she was, I believe, just as pretty, if not prettier to me than Alex was, or Selena Gomez was in the show. But she was always portrayed as weird because she would make her own costumes. And, you know, she's like very, not out there, but different, you know? And she was seen as weird for being different and being herself, but it never stopped her, not one bit. Okay. Interesting. I didn't ask a question, so we'll put that back. And then their overall vibe and opinion. Men, please. How do men view monthly forms? Overall vibe and opinion. Okay. Is this the Magician? How cute. Yeah. The Magician. It's definitely giving malleable. You change very often. Like sometimes you're really smart, sometimes you're really pretty, sometimes you're really funny, which is why they don't really know what category to place you in. But I feel like because you don't try to be the main character too often, you get kind of placed on the back burner. You're not the pick me, you're not the girl who's twirling her hair and all up in their face, trying to, flirt with them, trying to get their attention. Therefore, they place you on the back burner because certain men, or most of them anyway, go for the girls who they're trying to pull girls. They're not trying to make friends with girls. Okay. So you're giving the friends. So you're not really in their, not in their mind. What's the saying? You're not really in the thoughts, you're not at the forefront because they're most of the time when it comes to women, they're trying to have stuff with women. They're not trying to befriend women, so you kind of get placed on the back burner a little bit because you're not trying to impress them and look good for them, kind of thing. So you come off as the girl who's weird because she's not trying to flirt with me. She's not trying to push up her boobs and be all on my face and do all this kind of stuff. You're just chill and you're yourself and you're not being different. How girls pretend to be dumb or ditzy or whatever to appeal to the male gaze, and some girls are just like, I don't really care about all of that. I'm still gonna cuss you out. I'm still gonna do whatever I want, right? So that's how you're kind of coming through. If you take offense to the duff or the funny fat friend, I'm just using that as a reference, to describe what the vibe I'm getting from you guys. Because people are so sensitive. I'm not calling you ugly or I'm not calling you the fat friend. I'm just saying that's how men are viewing you in that instance of you not being the popular girl, but you're the girl who kind of gets pushed into the shadows because you're not vying for their attention, essentially. That's a compliment in my opinion. Okay. So the Magician is someone who's ever changing. So sometimes they can see you as very attractive because you're dressing up. May not be for them, but you're just dressing up for yourself. Sometimes you're funny, sometimes you're really smart, and it just depends. So their overall opinion of you is someone who is quite eclectic and interesting to be around, okay? When it comes to your appearance, we get the Knight of Cups. And that's like very idealistic. You wear your heart on your sleeve. You definitely believe in fairy tale romances. And that could be another reason why they place you in the friend category. Because some guys see you as like maybe wifey material or friend material, or I don't want to hurt her material. So I put her in the box because she's too special to kind of waste my romantic efforts on, if that makes any kind of sense. You know what I mean? I'm trying to remember the interview that I saw where a guy said something like that, where it's like, I had to make her my friend because I knew that my ways would hurt her. So in some ways, they're considering you even more than they would a romantic interest because it's better to be friends. I think it was Andrew Garfield. He was giving an interview for somebody, for some movie. It could have been the movie he had with Florence Pugh, if I'm being honest. I forget the name of the movie, but it was, I think last year, recent, where they played husband and wife. And he said something about some girls he just wants to be friends. Oh, no. It was a video I was watching. And the lady who was kind of reading him or talking about him was like, he would make a great friend. She was reading his chart. Yes. I believe it was the Spiritual Social, right? And she was doing a reading I was watching a reading of hers. I love her, by the way. Check her out if you haven't already. The Spiritual Social on YouTube. Love her. But anyway, she was talking about how some guys are the Andrew Garfield, where they seem really funny and they seem like they'd be great boyfriends or girlfriends or husbands, not girlfriends, sorry. Guy friends, whatever. But she said based on his chart, he would be a better guy friend than he would ever be a partner. He's that kind of guy where they make great friends, but as soon as you date them, they flip the switch and they're just horrible partners. And I don't know if it was because she was judging his past relationships, but I think she was doing a birth chart reading. Now I can't really remember. This was a while ago, but she was definitely talking about Andrew Garfield, and she was like how he would make a great friend, but a lover, he has his shortcomings more often than not in that aspect or that regard. And she was like, just be friends with him and he would be an amazing friend. But when it comes to romantic connections, he struggles. So I think she was definitely reading his birth chart. And I'm like, that's what I'm kind of getting here, where guys would more so friend zone you because they know they have to put in a lot of work based on the girl who they have to, say she's pretty. And then she's like, succumbing to their will, bending to their will, that kind of thing, okay? And then we have the first impression is the Ten of Wands. Yeah, too much work. See, you see how that comes around, full circle moment, and I have to start from the back to get to the front. But these cards were turned over for a reason. The Ten of Wands is an energy of too much work. I'm tired. This person's going to be tiring for my energy. They're going to be draining of my energy, So if I wanted to pursue this person romantically, it would be too much work, That's the vibe. That's the first impression you give off, okay? Oh, that's funny. Okay, and then we have the Eight of Cups, where it's like walk away because she's too much work. This is a very interesting reading, guys. What the heck? I wasn't expecting this, but I love when the readings are not like the same every time. I've done this topic before, but new things are coming through. Love that. Okay. But yeah, the Eight of Cups, you're going to be seen as someone who walks away if someone is too stressful for you. So it's like kind of giving no BS, no filter kind of person. And that's what you are coming through as, because you're the girl who's not performing for them. Okay? Love that for you guys. Okay, so the Eight of Cups says if your life feels stale, explore some new scenery. So maybe you're seen as flighty, right? Or you have a lot of baggage as well. That's their first impression. I don't know how they get that from a first impression, but the Ten of Cups and Ten of Wands can also represent heavy burdens and baggage, or you have a lot that you're carrying with you emotionally or just physically. You're always busy. You're not looking for love, that kind of thing. She's not like, gonna give me the time of day kind of energy. That's their first impression, because she's gonna walk away from you, leave me eventually. So maybe you are really attractive, but they're scared you're not gonna give them the time of day or take them seriously, so they just leave. Okay, that's something. But your physical appearance is definitely someone who's like, you have romantic charm to you. That's what I was saying with the whole Harper from Wizards of Waverly Place. You make your own clothes. You're very much like the world is your oyster, and you're here to enjoy it to the fullest. You're not succumbing to social or societal pressures to dress a certain kind of way. No, you're giving the Ravenbacks, they're very quirky, designing your own clothes. The Harper, very quirky, designing your own clothes. I'm hearing specifically from the Duff movie that I was referencing, how she has like a monster voice, or they call like demon voice. And most girls would not ever do that in front of a guy or even their crush, but she does, because he was her friend before they became lovers, that kind of thing. So it is giving people, men, because this is their section, friend zone you, because you give off more friend vibes. But the more they get to know you, the more they see you open up, the more they see, okay, yeah, this person could definitely be someone, but it takes some time, which may be, it could be a strategic thing on their part, right? Yeah, let's be her friend first, so I don't have to work as hard to be her lover, because as soon as we're friends and I'm comfortable, it's easy to slide right into lovers. How ghetto, if that's their point of view or how they're thinking about it. But come on now. Anyway. Yeah, the way you look, some people have like shorter hair, some people have darker skin. Because I was saying something about back burner, and I said black burner. So some of you could be, colored people. Let me stop, because someone had a problem when I said that. I just mean we all become in all shapes and sizes, okay? All colors and tones. I can't just say black, because you may not just be black. You may be something else. But you could be someone who has some color to your skin, essentially. And those people are already, if you're not the right mix, you're not exotic enough, you just tend to be placed on the black. See, I want to say it again, black burner. That's crazy. Anyway, that's what's coming through for this. But you're very charming is what I'm getting, because the Magician represents, I believe it's Gemini and Virgo. And they're very they're funny. Virgos are unintentionally funny. Geminis are probably more intentionally funny, but they're both ruled by Mercury, and Mercury is communication. Mercury is the mind. Mercury is like time and stuff like that. So that could be coming through as well. You're very witty, very smart, very intelligent. That kind of energy is coming through. And that's just their overall opinion of you. You're always changing. You're like a chameleon. That's the word I was looking for earlier. You're a chameleon. The way she's wearing her heart on her overalls, you wear your heart on your sleeve. That's when they get to know you a little bit more. Their overall opinion of you kind of changes, like you, like your form. You're always changing. Okay. Now we'll move on to how women view you. Let's get into this. Let's see. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Ace of Wands. How do women view my group? We have the first impression. I didn't even ask a question, but we have the Four of Cups. So women in general, like the same way we had the Strength card come out at the beginning of the How Do Men View You, it's kind of giving standoffish. Maybe you're not as open and friendly with women because you tend to be judged by them. And so you have like a standoffish opinion of them. Maybe you just have RBF. You know what I mean? I feel like women are more sensitive to certain things. So where men may see you with RBF and still talk to you, women are like, oh no, I don't want to talk to her kind of energy. Or they just like, they overthink certain things. Oh, her face is mean, she must be mean. No. Men will still talk to you if you have your mate, if you have your face mean and tough. They're gonna be like, oh, smile more, you should smile more. You know, they have the audacity, is what I've, realized. Men have audacity. And women just overthink things. And so she has a RBF, she must be mean. No, you're not. You're just a little standoffish. Four of Cups, hard to reach a little bit, Maybe you're just not interested in socializing, okay? It could be as simple as that, but let's keep going. With the Ace of Wands, you pique their interest. I feel like, especially if you are giving off the Harper and Raven Baxter in the men version, if you do dress your own self or do your own wardrobe, the way you dress yourself is very interesting, or you're just very stylish in general. And I feel like as a woman, I feel like women that I've met kind of appreciate that more. Men don't really care if you put an outfit together really cute, It's kind of like for them, the tighter it is, the more skin it shows, the happier they are. Women, they appreciate the fine details that you put into the outfit. They appreciate the fine details you put into your makeup, your hair, whatever, because they themselves understand the effort it takes to look good. So they will give you more compliments on your outfit than a man ever will. A man will say you look good, but he's not going to say, I love the way you pair that jacket with that shirt, the texture, and you're not going to say all that. They're going to make you look good, But women tend to appreciate the finer details more. So they, like the Ace of Wands and being at the bottom of the deck is kind of giving, oh, I'm interested. I want to know where she got that from, where she got that from, where she got that from. But then you give off RBF, they're kind of like, should I say anything? So we'll see. First impression for how women view my group ones, please, Spirit. First impression. So stylish is coming through. RBF is coming through. First impression for how women view my group ones. We have the Hierophant. Look at that. She looks extra stylish, very feminine, even though we have the Hierophant. I do believe you're traditionally attractive, or conventionally is the word, attractive, because the Hierophant has to do with tradition and conventionality. So you're conventionally attractive. You have Taurus coming through here. Taurus is also, I should say, rules over the Hierophant. So, and Taurus is a Venus ruled sign. Bye. So it's definitely giving you're someone who is conventionally attractive, and which is why they want to know what you do to get that way or stay that way or look that way, okay? Let's keep going. How do women view my group one's appearance? Their appearance. You do come off as someone who's very serious and stoic, though, because the Hierophant is a very spiritual card, and he is someone who, he has morals, is a very upstanding member of society and very stoic and sits on his crown, or his, he sits on his pedestal and kind of looks down on everyone. He gives the opinions. People don't really speak to him in a way of you need to change or fix yourself. So it could be giving high and mighty energy, okay? How do women view my group one's appearance, please, Spirit? Their appearance. We have 2 coming out for that, okay? So a lot of opinions about that. So men have a lot of opinions about the first impression you give them. Women have a lot of opinions about your looks, okay? And then the last card for their overall vibe and opinion of my group one's, please, Spirit, Jesus Christ. And then we have 2 cards for that. So women will be chatting about y'all. Okay, whether you're a man or a woman or they, them, non-binary child, people be chatting about you. So Hierophant coming through here is definitely giving take charge, leader, you have it all together kind of energy, because that's not what the Hierophant represents, the priest, the high priest. And I love to think about him as like a Catholic priest, how everyone comes and spills their secrets and their tea. So you have a little bit too much power because you know everybody's secrets in the freaking, mass. Everybody's tea because they have to come and confess to you. So you kind of give that vibe of just like, I don't know, like intimidating, because it's like giving, a principal where you always have to be in your best behavior kind of energy. So you could give that kind of vibe, very serious, very stern, kind of energy. You have too much power in your hands. You look like you have too much power. You look like you're a leader. You know what I mean? You don't need help with anything. Very self-sufficient kind of energy. But Taurus is also someone who's very stylish, someone who's very beautiful. And look at how in the card she's wearing a crown. So it's definitely giving I know my worth, and that's how you walk around. That's your first impression to women. I know my worth, okay? And you just look really good. Look at how she has this is what I was talking about. Like, I love how you have the gold crown, the gold hoops match with the belt and the shoe. Men are not noticing that. They're not, like zoning in on that and saying, oh my gosh, I love the way you paired all those things together to make the outfit come together. Men are not, they're just like, oh, I love it, your legs look nice, your shape is shaping in the dress. Women are looking at the small details you put into looking that good, okay? So women are definitely looking at your style and your approach to, I guess styling yourself, or, your approach to fashion. Oh, anywho, let's keep going. Women, your first appearance, your physical appearance. I can't read today, jeez. We have Two of Pentacles, so their opinion goes up and down. It volleys back and forth. Sometimes they may like it, sometimes they may not. And then we have the World. Interesting. Women have a high opinion of you. Maybe you're kind of giving world famous, world class model. You travel around the world, which is why you may look really put together. The Hierophant does kind of give me, not rich, but Tauruses love their creature comforts. They love the foods, the clothes, the textures, the fabrics. They love to experience life, right? They work hard to be able to for the finer things in life. You coming out as a Taurus in this first card here for the first impression is definitely giving you indulge in the finer things. You have your crown, which is giving you think highly of yourself, right? You walk around with a certain kind of majesty to you. And then we have you matching it up with everything else, right? And the way she's standing on this house, standing on business, okay? But Taurian is definitely giving like very, like I said, fashionable, stylish, that kind of thing. And then look, we have the peacocks, and peacock has to do with ego, okay? I'm hearing Shiko for some of you. Maybe some of you are built like Shiko. You have like a very, not standoffish, but polarizing personality like Shiko, okay? Maybe some of you are the villain in some other women's story. You know what I mean? You never know. Whew. Okay, but for your appearance, we have the Two of Pentacles, and then we have the World. Maybe every time women see you, I would hope every time they see you, you're wearing something different. That's funny. The World is also giving me the World Wide Web. So some people may have differing opinions of you based on the medium in which you're viewing you from, social media or in person. Because your vibe may be different on social media, where I feel like for me, on here, I'm way more open and friendly with you guys because I know y'all. Not that I know you, but it's like, I feel comfortable. This is my channel. I would hope not to be rude and mean. Not that I ever am. I mean, sometimes, if it's called for. But I feel like in the world, I have like a very straight, leave me alone kind of face. I don't like people looking at me. I'm like, no, I don't care if you're a woman or a man. Stop looking at me. Walk with your head straight forward. I don't look at you. You don't gotta look at me. That's my vibe, especially in New York. We don't do that around here. So I feel like I can come off intimidating or polarizing if someone sees me in person versus as me in this energy here right now. I'm not really giving that. I don't think I am anyway. You never really know how people feel. But that's the kind of energy coming through. It's up and down. You never really know, right? Sometimes you're all work and no play, and that makes you a dull girl. Other times you're all play and no work, and people may think that you're irresponsible. It just depends on how you are that day, is what I'm getting. How you show up in the world that day and your physical appearance, okay? Sometimes it's a good opinion, sometimes it's a bad opinion, I guess. Or sometimes you look more serious and stern, sometimes you look more playful, like I said, because the Two of Pentacles is the work and play card. When you have that balance, that duality, you're not all serious all the time, you're not all playful and not serious all the time, you know? So I feel like women are putting more thought into who you are as a person, as opposed to the men where it was just like, oh, she's too much work, right? It could definitely be you're too expensive for them, because the vibe you're coming through as, in the women's point of view, is kind of like, you know, a queen. You hold yourself to a certain standard. And men are like, she's going to leave me if I don't put in enough work with these two cards coming out. Women are kind of like, look at her. Sometimes she know how to let her hair loose and have a good old time, you know, and your physical appearance kind of shows that you're jovial, happy, smiling, laughing. And then other times it may show someone who's more serious and stern, which is this Hierophant energy coming through over here, okay? So, right, but it's also like up and down, ebb and flow, white and black, that kind of thing coming through the Two of Pentacles. So that's how they view your appearance. But either way, it's kind of like giving this person should be modeling on the world on the stage, you know? This person should be like, they could think, oh, this person's an influencer, that's why they dress so nice. It could be the truth, could not be the truth. The world would never know. Only you would know, right? Honestly. Because these are the first, you know, how they view you. They don't really know you that well based on what your looks are giving. Okay? Now, let us move on to your overall vibe. What do women think of your overall vibe? Okay, so artistic is coming through because she's painting and has paint splattered all over her overalls, which is coming through again. So it's funny how in the same placement we have overalls coming through. Can you get, what the heck? That's very funny to me, very interesting as well. And then we have the Queen of Wands. Wow. And I was talking about creativity. Absolutely. I didn't realize this was the Queen of Wands at first, but that's what's coming through. You're someone who's like a creative genius or mastermind, whether it comes to painting, singing, songwriting, or like creating clothes, is the vibe that's coming through. So your overall vibe is like a very cool person, very hardworking person, very commanding, because we also have that coming through once again in the Queen of Wands. So women view you as someone who is very much intimidating, in control, serious sometimes, playful at other times, but their overall opinion of you is a really hard worker that works hard at their craft, is the vibe coming through for you guys, okay? And then of course we have Black Cat energy coming through the Queen of Wands. So you're also giving off Black Cat energy, and I feel like that's the perfect kind of energy to describe the Queen of Wands. She commands attention. If you don't do what she says, she'll definitely cuss you out. Like, it's either do what I say now or leave and I'll find somebody else to do it, right? That kind of thing. She never settles for less. She's very spunky. She says what she means and means what she says. Okay? She's working hard, but I feel like she has no problem like telling people what to do or getting people to do the work for her, because she's the boss. Like, I came up with the idea and now you're executing it. I don't have to do a thing. I hired you to do it for me, you know? So you kind of may be if you do have people working for you, you may be their, like, what do they call her? You may be their Devil Wears Prada, the Meryl Streep in that movie. You may be that, like, their horror story boss, where, oh my god, she's so demanding and she makes me cry, and you just have no idea. But their overall opinion is definitely like you would be like not a horrible boss, but like a very like strict boss. You know, as the vibe is coming through. Like, you work hard and play harder kind of energy. You built yourself up from the ground up, and no one's gonna ever tear you back down, right? And look at how she's just smirking and smiling, looking good. They like your shape. Women like your shape. They're like drawn to like the shape of your body is what's coming through. Your waist specifically. The waist is snatched here. The waist is snatched over here, and it's snatched here. And it's also kind of snatched here, but not, because she's wearing the overalls, right? So your definitely overall opinion is seen as someone who's very creative, who like works their magic. And I love how the overall opinion of men is a magician, where whatever you do, you put your mind to, it happens, right? And then for women, it's kind of the same thing coming through. Whatever you put your mind to, it happens. You know, you make it happen. So a very magical person. Maybe you're good at manifesting, and that's something that, and once they get to know you a little bit better, or they get to see that in your overall opinion, in their overall opinion of you, they see that you're really good at getting what you want. Now I'm hearing Ursula. The only way to get what you want. Yeah, I'm hearing Ursula. So you guys could have like an Ursula personality. Intimidating, but also really funny and but also really funny though, because in the movie she was like, "Oh my gosh, the sea witch," but all her scenes were like fantastic. I love Ursula. I feel like if I were to be any villain, it would be her. Like she's literally like giving. She's not being motherly to her, but she's giving all woman, right? She has the hips and she has the big booty, right? But it's kind of giving, even though she's trying to finagle Ariel, she's giving her advice. She's like, the only way to get what you want is to become a human. Whatever she tells Ariel when she comes to see her, right? And then she's kind of like, and don't forget the something of body language. Like, even though she's trying to like one up her and usurp her and, you know, steal something from her, she's still coming off as very charming. We're never truly scared. I'm never truly scared of Ursula because she's just that charming. Even though she is a sea witch and she has like a layer full of like bones and stuff. It's kind of like she has just a right amount of humor and spunk to make her likable. And that's what makes her successful at her job, because people come to her and they trust in her, and she may screw them over, but that was their fault for coming to her in the first place, right? So you're a little scary, you know? We'll leave it at that, okay? So that's what I have for you guys. Maybe you're also giving like you work hard for everything that you get. You're like I said, I think I said that already. But there's something here about worldly looks. Maybe you are giving exotic to women. They don't really know where you come from. They're just, I feel like women are just really curious about you, whereas men immediately see you and say, no, 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 that's too much for me. I can't handle all that. Whereas women are like, I don't want anything romantically from you unless you like women and women like you. But it's kind of like, I'm just really intrigued by who you are. One minute you seem like really playful and cute, the next minute you're kind of giving like this cutting stare and you're cussing me out. It's kind of like, which is it, you know? And they're intrigued, they want to know more, they want to be your friend now. Who is this funny? Okay, so I have these cards on the sidelines. We're gonna pull from the Mermaid Oracle and the Fairy Oracle to see if any extras come through. This could be just to confirm what came through on both sides. It doesn't really matter. I just want to pull from them because they're cute. Here we have celebration. Celebrate good times. Come on. So you could be seen as someone who likes to have a good time. Okay. And it's funny how I was mentioning Ariel, and this is kind of giving that. And look at how we have the pearl here. So you're definitely one of a kind. And that's what I was getting with the men. Men see your quirkiness more than women do. I don't know how, but I don't know. Men and women are different, right? Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. Completely different planets. Okay. And it's funny how I was mentioning the pearl, and now we have Pearl of Wisdom. Stop playing in my face. So you are someone who's very wise, okay? And that's what the women it was coming through with the women, because you're the Hierophant. Hierophant, like, kind of is supposed to have all the answers, you know? And then we have, is this Bountiful Harvest? It is. That's what I was saying with the whole Queen of Wands and Eight of Pentacles in the world. You kind of look like you should be on a runway somewhere. Bountiful Harvest. There's an abundance to you that either men and or women like acknowledge. But the Queen of Wands is definitely giving, yeah, you have funk or spunk. You have flair. Everything you do kind of leaves a mark, you know? You're a trailblazer is the kind of vibe coming through. You have a nice smile. You have really nice hair, because in both of these pictures for your physical appearance is giving really long hair or really long braids, whether that be any kind of, you know, box braids or something, or just like you wear your hair in like braids most of the time. Or you could have braids exactly like these. Whenever I see this braid here, I don't know why I think of Beyonce for some reason. There's like one, it's like a campaign or something where she had her hair like all the way up and like in a braid, something like that. You know what I mean? So you can have like a really nice set of, you know, I mean, and Beyonce's really nice hair as well. So that could be something coming through really nice hair, okay? Now I'm going to pull from the Fairy Oracle and see what comes through. just to see what comes through. Group ones, please. How do men view them? How do women view them? Can we have some confirmations for what has already come through? Okay. I'll take this. We have north, south, east, and west. I love that this came out, and then we have the world coming through here, which is kind of the same thing. So maybe you're someone who's very worldly, right? Your physical appearance kind of gives someone who could be from anywhere. Very interesting. Or just your overall vibe gives someone who's worldly, because we did have Pearl of Wisdom, that kind of, you know. Then we have Shapeshifter, which is that magician energy coming through, as well as the world. The world is like a wheel, you know, and it's also spherical. So it could be something that's always changing, right? Maybe you're someone who has like many different backgrounds, and that's what they think when they think of your physical appearance, like where in the world are you from? Okay. Then we have this card here, which is King. So yeah, there's, like I said, majesty and royalty to you. Whether it's from the male gaze or the female gaze, you never know. It doesn't even matter. It's coming out, period. North, south, east, and west. Also someone who's quite well-rounded, I feel like, because those are all the, not cardinal, those are all the directions. So you're a little bit of everything. You bring something. You could be like an army brat, you know, or you look like you come from, like I said, many different places. They're kind of like, I don't know where to place you, you know. But I'm going to leave the reading right here. I hope it resonated. If it did, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, join the tribe. We'd love to have you. If you would ever like to book a personal reading with me, you could always get in contact with me using my email in the description box below. But I hope you're having a beautiful, wonderful day whenever you're watching this reading. And as always, I'll see you gorgeous people in the next one. Mwah. Bye. Hello, my gorgeous group twos. Welcome to your reading. If you made your way here, however you made your way here, thank you for joining me in today's reading. Today's reading is going to be about how do men view you versus how women view you. We're going to get into 3 distinct topics. First impression, your appearance, how do they view that? And then your overall vibe, their opinion on your overall vibe, okay? So men will be over here, women will be over here, or maybe not. That's not how I did it in group 1. Men ended up coming first. We put them up here, then women came at the bottom. There you go. But we're going to start with the Cozy Witch Tarot for the men. How do they view you? I'm hearing sharp. I'm kind of like hearing Mr. Roboto. So maybe some of you are like, right, you move robotically, you act robotically, whatever that may mean. Maybe you're known for doing the robot. I don't know. Okay, we have 2 cards for that. Can I have some cards for how do men view their overall appearance, please? That was quick. And then for the third option, how do men view my group ones, their overall vibe? Okay, so far we've had this happen in, so some of them turn over, some of them turn face forward. So we'll start with the one that turned up facing forward. There's no need for me to start here and go here. Okay, so for your overall vibe and opinion, we have 8 of Cups. Very interesting. This came out of group 1. And then but not in this place. So, and then we have Judgment. Interesting. There's something, yeah, scary. It's kind of like this person's like too perfect, or they're going to judge me, or they have their life together and I don't, and they're going to end up leaving me. Because the 8 of Cups is that vibe of, not good enough. I'm going to keep going, you know? Or walking away from something, leaving something behind in your past, you know, in your rear view mirror. And it's like, once you judge them or give them the final like gauntlet or drop the gauntlet on them and you formed your opinion, it's kind of like, oh man, this person's gonna leave me behind, or I'm not good enough for them. You know what I mean? And in a way, it's kind of true, because the 8 of Cups is that vibe. Like, 8 Cups is not good enough for me. I want 9. I want 10. Okay. 8 is just not satisfactory. So you can be a little bit of a perfectionist. So your overall vibe is giving very much that. They think that you're judgy. Or you're someone who's always like on a new adventure, because Judgment is seeking your soul's purpose and doing what your soul wants you to do, following that inner niggling, that inner call. And the Eight of Cups is leaving people that don't fit that behind. So I feel like either way I spin it, it's definitely giving you do not stay where you don't need to be longer than necessary. Once you found out, oh, these people ain't my people, I'm out of here. Once you figured out this path, it's not my path, you're off it. Once you realize, hey, I gotta do this now, you're doing it. You know, you're not doing things longer than you need to. You're not wasting your time, is the energy that I'm getting here. And you know what's so funny? I don't think you guys can hear it, but I'm in like the the office, and the main office, the phone was ringing for a little bit, and then it kind of like stopped ringing, and then it made the sound where like there's no service anymore. So it's kind of giving, once you're gone, people cannot reach you, right? And it could be something that's spiritually inclined, like your spiritual ancestors or spirit team, your angels are kind of like, nope, this person is no longer in your atmosphere. This person is no longer, you can't get in contact with them no more. They're out of there, you know? So you could definitely be the cutoff queen or king or person, okay? This is funny. I'm seeing she has like a little, is that something? She has like I believe that's you probably can't see it. Well, you can if you look close enough. She has an eyebrow ring. So something here about you being alternative. So there's something here about you not wanting to get along with everyone. I do feel like most people, I don't know if that's true though. That's true. People who are alternative are not just inherently unfriendly. They just like what they like, you know? And that could be how they're judging you. They're like, oh no, she's kind of like giving off, like, stay away from me vibes. But it's not that. It's just, I want to be me and I want to be free. And I'm going to go from here, there, and everywhere. I'm not staying in one place too long. Is vibe coming through. So your overall vibe could be a little bit someone who's flighty, or someone who likes to chase after what they want, and they're not going to stay unhappy because for shits and gigs. They're like, no, I'm leaving here. This doesn't make me happy. I'm gone. Right? As you should, though. What do you mean? Stay in a place where you're unhappy for what and for why? It's not making no sense. But yeah, so you're definitely someone who's always striving for better, always moving onward and upward. You're not satisfied with something. It's the right way to say it. You're not satisfied with the bare minimum or good enough. Because the Eight of Cups, you can say, is good enough. You have 8 whole cups out of 10. What do you mean? That's 80%. You're like, nope, I want 100%, or at least 90%, or 99%. Like, I'm going to keep going, you know? You could also be like a little bit of an overachiever. Your overall vibe could be that, how men view you. Interesting. But you're definitely someone who follows your divine cues. You go where you're called to. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like giving maybe wanderer, or maybe sometimes you could be coming off as an aimless traveler, where they're always thinking, where are you going? Like, who told you to go there? You saw 333. What do you mean that 333 told you to go on this journey? Like, I don't understand. And that's because they're not meant to understand. Your frequency is too high for them. Which is why, like I said, this Judgment card is definitely giving me, I'm going to have to change and move on with her. And I'm quite comfortable here. Or this person, whoever don't want to put a label on you. But this person is too high and elevated for me. They're going to keep getting better and higher. And I'm happy here. I'm happy with this low-level minimum wage job. Like, you know what I mean? I don't have a true purpose. I didn't come to Earth to do anything or be anything. And some people don't, truly. But you're the person who's going places. And even though the Eight of Cups would be cute for you to stay there, you're like, no, I want more out of life. Okay? We're going to end this section and keep going. I don't want to over-explain, okay? The next section we'll get into is their first impression of your physical appearance. And we have the Queen of Cups. So some of you have like a very dreamy vibe to you. The Queen of Cups rules over Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio. And Scorpios, or not Scorpios. You could be very sexy, right? In like a very temptress, succubus, siren kind of way, where something in you or about you calls to something in them, but they, like I said, just don't know what it is. A call to be greater, a call to be better. And they're kind of like, you know what? I'm drawn to you, but I'm going to run the other way, is the kind of energy that I'm getting here, right? But anyway, let's just focus on physical appearance. Okay, you could have really long hair. You could wear glasses. The Queen of Cups kind of gives me the quiet librarian vibe. But we all know librarians are quiet, but they're not quiet, right? Us as women, at least, we can all come to the conclusion or agree that librarians are not quiet and just obedient and shy. They could come off that way. You know, like, who wants to be a librarian and quietness all day in the library learning stuff? Oh, she's a nerd. But we all, as a society, we should have already learned that the nerds are the freakiest ones out there. The quiet people are the people you need to watch out for. And that's the kind of energy that's coming through with your physical appearance. It's giving girl next door, sweet. You know, I'm hearing supple. Cancer rules over the boobs, so that could be very intriguing about your first appearance when they see you, or your physical appearance, I should say. And then we have Scorpio, which rules over the sexual energy of it all. So that could be something that's quite intriguing. You have like a pull, a draw, which is what I was saying with Siren, succubus vibes. And then we have, who's left? Pisces, which rules like over the feet, but it's also 12th house energy of like dreaminess. Where it's kind of like this person's like too cute, too spiritual, too much for me. They make me feel too much. They make me want to be better. And some people don't like that, especially men, right? If they feel like you're trying to change them in any kind of way, they're going to get upset. Sorry to the men that may be watching. You may be better, because I feel like if you're on a tarot reading, you have to be somewhat evolved. And I appreciate you for putting in the work and trying to be better than these other men out here, okay? Appreciate you. But yeah, look at how the wind is blowing in her hair, and just like very pretty is the energy I'm getting for you guys. Like, it may not be, oh my gosh, knockout or just gorgeous, but it's like very pretty, very wholesome, very librarian-y. Girl next door-y is the best way I can describe it. That's how men view your physical appearance, okay? If you don't like it, get gone. Let me stop. Oh, that's hilarious. That could be your vibe, though, honestly. If you don't like it, get gone. Like, I'm not going to force you to stay here. What do I look like? Like, I'm a goddess. You know what I mean? Like, please. Thank you. Anyway, that's what I'm getting with the Queen of Cups. She is very lovey and loving. And that could be what your looks are giving. Someone who will, give you a hug and, pull you into their bosom and just, like, hold you there. And you could be, like, very, like, womanly, very shapely. What do they call it? Homely. Oh, my gosh. Some of you could be giving MILF. Or you may not even be a mom, but you're giving someone that could be older. They like to give cougar vibes for some of you. Queen of Cups kind of give you that vibe sometimes. Someone who's very wise, someone who's very intuitive, emotional. That's how your looks come off. Like I said, just dreamy. Lost in a daydream. Like really big glittering eyes. I just heard an anime character. That could be something. Maybe you have the colored hair. Maybe you have the big boobs. Maybe you have the snatched waist. Maybe you love to wear a good skirt. Okay. I'm seeing boots with a sock combo. And you know the kind of socks I'm talking about, right? It's either fully socks or the socks that are as long as the boot socks. I think that's what they're called. I'm trying to make it more difficult than it needs to be. A sock for a boot. Okay. I'm just thinking of how the anime characters like to dress. Maybe some of you are giving like academia, schoolgirl vibes. That's all that's coming through right here, right? That's how men are viewing your physical appearance. Let's go. Let's keep going. We'll keep them down here for a second. But there is something quite intriguing about you have like a style too, I feel like. Group one, you are giving a specific aesthetic that men attribute to you. If they even know what aesthetics are, child, because you never know. Okay? Now we're going to move on to their first impression of you. And their first impression of you is the Two of Wands and the Nine of Pentacles. I'm hearing something they'd like to explore. You intrigue them, funnily enough. And I love how I go from your overall vibe to the first impression. It's really cute. I think that's what happened for group one as well. I just think it brings a little bit of something more to it, going from how they view you, like your overall vibe, to like when they first met you or they first see you. Okay? So Two of Wands, right? Someone who's different is what I'm hearing. Someone who likes to explore different stuff. The Two of Wands is someone who is like, they don't want to be in a box. So you guys could be alternative for real. That did come through. But it's definitely giving someone who is not trying to blend in. Okay? Because look at her. She has like the very bow. She is giving like someone's very beautiful. Look at her. She's so cute. You can have like a specific color you always like to wear as well. But first impression, okay? Someone who is quite adventurous, okay? Someone who knows what they want, most definitely, more than anything else. You're someone who knows what you want. The Two of Wands says, your decision, decide your future here, nothing else. People know you're going places, right? You can be someone who's very smart or very decisive when it comes to what you want out of your life, okay? And we have that paired with the Nine of Pentacles, which these two energies together are quite beautiful in my opinion. Excuse me. Because the Nine of Pentacles is keeping up the pace, steady movement forward, not giving up no matter how scary or crazy or rockety or rickety the path gets. So we're going to keep going. Slow and steady. We're not in a rush. We just know we have some place to go. You know what I mean? We know that we are not meant to just keep still. We know we are meant to keep going and discover and discover and discover. That's what the Two of Wands is on the bark of? No. That's what the Two of Wands is on the precipice of. Discovery, which is the Three of Wands. Okay? I think the Two of Wands also represents discovery as well. Or the intention to discover. you know what I mean? The Two of Wands always gives me a doorway because we have one wand on one side of you and then another wand on the other side of you, and it like creates a portal of sorts. So maybe you kind of, their first impression of vibe is you came out of nowhere or you came from a different world. You know what I mean? Especially if you have a specific aesthetic, and it's kind of like you don't see people dressed like this every day, or you don't see or meet people like this every day. This is a one-of-a-kind kind of person. Maybe alien, maybe fairy, maybe mermaid, maybe, like I said, anime character, that kind of thing. We have people who dress like that on a daily, right? And it's not even just to stand out. That's just how they express themselves. And that's the vibe that's coming through. You kind of look like you came from, like, you know, a portal is what I want to say. Yeah, a portal. The Two of Wands kind of gives me that image of one wand here, and the middle is kind of like you stepped out of a different world, you know? So it could be a different time period. You wear like pieces that take it back to the 80s, 70s, 60s, 50s, and so on and so forth, right? Even the 90s, 80s, 70s, 60s, you know what I mean? Or you look like you came from another world, okay? That's what's coming through with the Two of Wands. And the Knight of Pentacles is definitely someone who could be slow in speech, slow in gait. You take your time. You're never in a rush to do certain things, right? Even though you kind of are, but you really kind of aren't. Like I said, you know you have somewhere to go and a destiny to fulfill, but you're taking the scenic route to do so, right? And there's something charming in that fact. You know what I mean? It's kind of giving how in like most anime shows, you know, there's a purpose to it and this person has to fulfill a prophecy, but they're taking the long way around. It's kind of reminding me how when I used to be watching the Seven Deadly Sins, how it just starts off so like not even goofy, but out there. We have Meliodas, who's like a very out there, unserious character, and then as the show moves on, he has to have moments of being very serious and cognizant and like locked in. And then he has moments of going back to his goofy, you know, self. And it just always baffles me when I learn, not to spoil it for anyone, that him and Elizabeth has I think her name is Elizabeth, has like a past together. And Elizabeth used to be an angel and he used to be a demon, and they fell in love. And I'm like, what? Meliodas gave up demonry for an angel? Like, it just always baffles me the more serious he gets. And then we meet his brothers, the other sins, and it's just like, it's crazy. Like, I had to give the show a break, right? And it's been a few years now because I used to watch it during the pandemic, right? And I'm kind of like, it's too much going on now. Okay, I need a break from this. And that's kind of like how maybe you could be a little like a lot sometimes, which is why they be running away. In this overall vibe energy coming through here. But I kind of feel like you're giving Meliodas. Where sometimes you can be like very goofy and silly, then you have times of like of a like how can I say it? Like, you have like a moment of a serious moment. People kind of like, you can be serious? What do you mean? Right? That's what it's giving. It's like, there's a specific thing that it's called. I think it's like a present moment or whatever. Like someone who has maybe like dementia, for example, and they're always like never remembering anything. And they have a blank moment where it's like they remember everything and they know who you are. And sometimes people are kind of like, huh, I wasn't expecting that from you, you know? So you're curious, I feel like, okay? Hardworking, right? You don't give up easily. You take your time. You're not like trying to get anywhere in a rush, right? So you can be someone who's always late, or maybe they see you, when the first impressions, when they first saw you, you were walking very slow, talking very slow, you know, that kind of thing. Now let's move on to how these women are out here viewing you. Okay, we're going to be using the Modern Goddess Tarot for that section. For my group twos, how do women view my group twos when they first meet them? Their first impression of my group twos. Sorry if I sound a little different. I feel like I'm still a little stuffy. I was having bad allergies. And they came back yesterday. They went away and then came back. And I was annoyed, okay? What do they think of their first impression? Not first impression. Let me take a break. I'm trying to... not take a break, but slow down. How do women view their appearance, please? My group twos. Just like pressure on my nose. How do women view their appearance? We have 2 cards for that. That's over, turning over. Okay, women can be very transparent with you, I feel like. Or they feel like you're transparent. You have nothing to hide. You're not a threat, is what I just heard. How do women view my group threes overall vibe, personality, whatever you want to call it? Whew. Queen of Swords in reverse. Interesting. Are we taking that in reverse? Can I get a clarifier for the Queen of Swords in reverse, potentially? Why is that here? Do I take it in reverse? Okay, and that one is like hidden. So they have some opinions, eh? We fight over here. Don't do that. Let me stop. Let me be serious. I can't. Okay. So we'll start off here since it's not anything like turned over. So how do women view you? First impression. 2 of Pentacles and the World. What the hell? No. I'm about to throw these cards because these exact 2 cards came out in group 1 for the middle category, physical appearance, but it's coming out for you for first impression. So the 2 of Pentacles is like a very malleable energy. You change quickly, okay? It's like kind of like the mutable signs, right? So it's kind of like you can move from, or malleable, something that can be manipulated, right? So maybe people think see, that's what I was getting. Women don't see you as a threat. They think you're very malleable, very, they can take advantage of you quite easily. Oh, don't, like I said, we fight over here. Don't do that to my group twos now, okay? Malleable is a 2 of Pentacles. 2 of Pentacles is also representing someone who could change from very serious, hardworking individual to someone who, and that's what I was kind of saying with Meliodas. Like when it came time to get out of business, Meliodas was not playing, especially when it came to his family and his girl. Oh, when it comes to family and your people, you don't play games. When it comes to everything else, you may be a little bit more chill and lax, right? But when it comes to certain things, you don't come to play, child. And some people have to find out the hard way about that because they push the wrong button thinking you're he ha ha all the time. And you're like, no, don't say that about my parents, my this, my that. I'll bleep you up. And they learn real quick who is the one to not mess with. Yeah. So you're unassuming is the word I would say, right? This was also coming through for appearance in the last one. So I feel like it's also coming through again for your group. It's giving racially ambiguous. I don't know why I'm back here moving all crazy. I just want to make sure I said the word properly. Because when I talk really fast, syllables tend to, get lost in the sauce, right? So racially ambiguous is their first impression. They don't really know what to make of you, right? Are you serious? Are you not serious? And I do feel like if you are someone who dresses alternatively, they don't know what to make of you, period. Because some people, like I said, like that are not as friendly. Some people are friendly. So it's kind of like, who are you as a person is like women's first impression. They want to know, okay? What else would Two of Wands mean? Yeah, very malleable. Maybe they think you could be easily manipulated, you know? Interesting. Anyway. And then we have the world here. In the world, here are all the fixed signs, right? So we have Taurus. So you could come off as someone's like very stubborn. I'm not getting that though. I don't feel like that's your energy at all for your first impression. Maybe the first impression you have like a very like not tough but serious face, and people think that you're this serious person, so you like smile, and that's when you flip the switch, and they're like, oh, you're not as, you're not that mean or whatever I thought you were, or you're not as unfriendly as I thought. But then we have Aquarius, which is someone who's like very different. See, your first impression is a mixture of, let me go through the signs. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. Aquarius is like very out there, very different, very alternative, very quirky. There's a word that I'm looking for. Aquarius. It's not alien. I can't find the word, but there's like a specific word that is associated with Aquarians, and it begins with the I believe. Maybe not, but it's definitely giving, like, yeah, alien-esque. That's what I was saying. Okay, the vibes for you guys is the same for how women view you versus how men view you. They don't know what to make of you when they first meet you, the first impression, because, like I said, the Two of Wands kind of gave me portal into another world, and that's the portal you came from. And I feel like the world is also kind of giving, who are you? Where did you come from? What are you? I guess you could say as well. Maybe your ethnicity, your race, or whatever, or what is your aesthetic? What are you trying to be? That kind of thing. You guys are very interesting, I would say. People like to, or they're perplexed when they first meet you, okay? But the Aquarian is giving the out of this world, alien, not from here kind of energy. Taurus is kind of giving you look good though. Whatever it is you're doing is working for you, but it is not something you see every dynasty. Let me stop. Oh my gosh, not the Emperor from Mulan coming through. You don't meet a girl like her every dynasty, okay? That's the kind of vibe you guys are coming through as. Like, you don't meet a girl like you or a guy like you, a person like you every day. So when they do meet people like you, it's kind of like, I don't really know what to make of you, That's what I'm getting. But anyway, we have Aquarius, we have Taurus, we have Scorpio, an intensity to you that is also like lending itself to that intimidating energy that you may have, or standoffish, serious, okay? And then what is next? Leo? You can't help but call attention to yourself. And that's what this Two of Pentacles, I feel like, is referencing to this world. We have the Two of Pentacles, energy of changing and being malleable. And then we have the World card coming right after, you mixing between all these different signs when people see you. So you are pretty, but you're also a little serious, and you're also a little intimidating. And then Aquarius is ruled by Saturn, so you could be like, oh my gosh, you know what I mean? And then we have Scorpio, which is also oh my gosh. And see, all these signs are oh my gosh in different fonts. And these people are trying so hard to figure out which one is you. Yeah. Because we have oh my gosh Scorpio, which is like, intense, standoffish, brooding, moody kind of energy. Then we have oh my gosh in Aquarius, which is like, this is interesting. I've never really seen anything like this before. Then we have oh my gosh in Taurus, which is like, oh my gosh, you're so pretty, you're so down to earth, you're so wholesome. And then we have oh my gosh for Leo, like, oh my gosh, you're so out there, you're so loud, you're so proud. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, period. That's the first impression women get from you guys, okay? How did we already at 30 minutes? I've been talking too much. For your appearance, okay, we have the Four of Pentacles, and then we have the High Priestess. This is probably the first time I've gotten the High Priestess in this deck. She's a baddie. Look at that. And look at how she's dressed. And the question to me is, what is she supposed to be? Like, a white dress with a scorpion on it? Since when? Like, the two pillars. Look at this is a portal. This is the exact portal I was referencing in the Two of Wands. We have one wand right here, one wand right here. You just place yourself right in the middle. It's kind of like in between worlds. You know what I mean? Interesting. Yeah, the High Priestess is Piscean energy. Okay. So 12th house mystery. Who are you? Secrets, hidden. So you're kind of like giving an enigma, someone people can't really read physically when they first see you. Like your face could be like shuttered, you emotionless, expressionless. You know, maybe sometimes you give eye contact, but it's kind of like a dead, and people are not sure what to make of you at first, right? And that's kind of what, look, that's exactly how her face is looking, disinterested, absolutely. They don't know what to make of you. And then we have the Four of Pentacles, which is someone who is, I would say, who holds themselves back, because the Four of Pentacles is someone who is trying to preserve something, who is trying to, how can I describe it? Save something, protect something, you know what I mean? Hold on to something for dear life, right? So you can have like a pinch expression. Maybe you be snatched, like you really be like, I'm making a face here, and I can't remember who makes the face, but you know those the model stances where you like hold your waist and like suck it and like bend over and make like a kissy face. Like that's the kind of energy I'm getting. So you have like a pinch expression, you have like a very weird expression, maybe you make weird faces. That could be a thing as well, and people like that about you, or that's something they notice, right? I'm hearing some of you could have like bleached or dyed eyebrows, you know. That's something that's very interesting that just came through. This kind of like composed, I don't really know what to make of you kind of person. First impression, a lady. Okay. What's the song that's coming through? I'm a Lady, from the first Smurfs movie. I think Meghan Trainor sings the song. I talk with my mouth full, but I couldn't be sweeter. Yeah, I'm a cutie in my own way. I don't play, follow the leader. I don't walk like them, but I ain't worried about it. I don't talk like them, but I ain't worried about it. I'm my own something best friend? No. I ain't worried about it. I don't walk like them, I ain't worried about it. I don't talk like them, I ain't worried about it. I'm my own gem? I don't know what she says. I ain't worried about it, cause I'm a lady. That song is coming through. I'm a Lady, Meghan Trainor, look it up. I don't walk like them, I don't talk like them. I can't remember which is after that, but something like that. It's like, you know, you're different, and you kind of like stand on business when it comes to that. You don't want to be like everybody else, okay? Some people wear things on your head as well. Maybe some of you like to wear all white. Maybe some of you like giving like purity vibes, because this is the first impression. Because for the men, you were giving like very sweet girl next door, innocent energy, librarian vibes. And here's kind of even the same thing. And look, sis has dyed eyebrows in the freaking card. Stop playing in my face. Period. Yeah. Pink hair, pink eyebrows, right? And it's matching with the rest of her outfit. And she's just sitting there, standing on business. And look how her face is also giving, that's not how you usually see people when you meet them. You know, you look a little mischievous as well. Like you're up to something, like you're plotting something. So some of you are giving disinterested, and then some of you are giving like very like, how can it not out there? I'm gonna come up with a better word. Interesting, I guess. We'll leave it at that. Okay. High Priestess, like you have a secret. Yes. Like you have a secret. You're keeping a secret from everyone else. Like you know things they don't. Is what your looks are kind of giving your first impression, okay? You guys have nice bone structure. You have a nice shaped face. You have nice eyebrows. You have a nice nose. You have nice lips, okay? Some of you could like to wear a signature red on your lips, or red in general, okay? Red is coming through, especially with this little outfit she's wearing right here, okay? Some of you could be a nurse, or you give up those vibes. Because Queen of Cups, if she were to be anything, she would be a nurse, I would feel like. Or a nurse would be a Queen of Cups energy archetype, right? Take care of people, nurture, so you could be good with kids, right? That kind of thing as well. Maybe you look like a kid yourself. I'm not getting that though. I'm getting very grown energy. Like I'm getting like a little bit like, not seductress, but tell me more, show me more. That Scorpio and Mystique to you. You know? And it's funny how Mystique from the X-Men would be able to change into any form. You know, that can be a thing as well. Shape shifting. You know, okay. And then she's holding an egg for whatever reason. I don't know why. In this card, she's holding an egg. And then here she's sitting on something. So you look like you're hiding something or keeping to yourself and away from everybody else. Yeah. So serious, straight face, or a smirk. Like you're up to no good. Now, the last section we have is your overall vibe, their opinion of your overall vibe. Wow. The card that came out to clarify the Queen of Swords is the Nine of Swords. Interesting. It hurts their head to try to decipher you. Like, there's no deciphering who you are as a person. Which is why men are just like, I give up. But the Eight of Cups coming through here, it's like, I don't want to figure her out anymore. I'm going to keep going in circles and up and down. Like, this person's too, like, you know what I mean? Very interesting, very interesting. But we have the Queen of Swords, and then we have the Nine of Swords. The Queen of Swords is an energy of being blunt, straightforward, a little bit of an ice princess, you know, ice queen kind of energy. You're not here for the BS. You say what you mean. Like, even if it's hurtful, you're very truthful. You're very frank, okay, honest and upfront. And that's your overall opinion of what people learn about you, women in particular. I kind of feel like they think, see, this is coming back to they think they can take advantage of you, and then once you open your mouth, it's a different story. Because you look innocent, but you're not when it comes to your demeanor. It's like, come to me with respect, and I will respect you. Come at me crazy, and I'll come at you crazy. I'll cuss you out. Like, I'll attack you. Like, I'm seeing someone like launching themselves at someone else and someone holding them back. You're the person launching yourself at someone because you don't play those games. Or people thinking they can say whatever they want about your looks or appearance, or about, like I said, your family, your friends. You're kind of like, no, that's where I draw the line. Say it again. Yeah. You know what I mean? You challenge people with your words is your overall vibe. Queen of Swords is very, like I said, bone structure and facial structure is very sharp. I'm seeing sharp cheekbones, jawline for some of you, right? Maybe a sharp nose for others of you. But there's something here like, you know, cheekbones, like sharp, contour could be a big thing. You know what I mean? Or just the way you put your face is shaped, or the way you wear your face. How can I describe it? Your expressions. You know, maybe some of you have like a pouty lip, and that kind of makes your face more angular because of the way you hold it. You know what it's kind of giving me? There's a specific pose, right, that I see a lot of celebrities doing when they pose for a picture. And the first person I ever saw do it was Adrienne Bailon. Some of you may know her as Adrienne Bailon Houghton. She sucks in her cheeks a little bit, right? She like makes it look like she has sunken in cheeks, and then takes a picture like that. No smile, just like a sunken in cheek, right? Almost like the illusion of the removal of buccal fat is what I've been hearing. People want to have that very skeletal look to them. That could be like your face is like very I'm hearing meager or something like that, where you may not, you know, just like very snatched, right? And that's the first person I ever saw do it. They suck in their cheeks a little bit, and they like have like a very serious pouty mouth, and that's what I'm getting. I swear to you, if you look up any picture of Adrienne Bailon recently, she loves that pose, and I'm like, what is she doing? And then I caught the technique. So everything you do is very intentional, from what you wear to how you act to what you say to what you don't say, is the overall vibe coming through here. Very intentional. Yeah. Okay, looks is definitely giving very quirky, is the vibe that's coming through as well. And then we have Nine of Swords, so it's like my head hurts. I don't even want to think about it. And this is also the staying up all night, sleepless nights card. So they think about you even after they meet you. They're still wondering about you. Sometimes they'll come up and talk to you. Other times they won't. You know, depending on the demeanor you have that day. But for the overall vibe for you guys is definitely giving, don't play with me, don't mess with me kind of energy. Because we have Judgment for the men, how they view you. And then we have the Queen of Swords for how, is it the Queen or the King? Queen, for how the women view you. So either way, it's like serious, don't mess with me. I don't play games. I'm not here to be... What's the saying our parents used to say? I'm not one of your little friends kind of energy, you know? Okay, so I'm gonna hurriedly jump into just these cards. I'm gonna use them as clarifiers for the rest of the deck. Here we have temptation. That was definitely coming through, especially with that Scorpio energy. Okay, you're quite tempting. Move it down more so you can see it. And look at how her body's like snatched, waist snatched. Some of you could be like very like skinny. You know what I mean? Borderline malnourished, no tea, no shade. That's the vibe coming through here. Because if you see in the card, you get to see a little bit beneath the water. Where's her waist? It's gone. It's not even there. The boobs are pushed up just so. And all of them, look at how their faces, look at how, exactly. Angular faces, pouty looks, serious or mischievous looks. These two are giving the same. Don't play with me. I'm picking up right now. These two are giving the same vibe. Yeah, period. Okay. Temptation. And look at how I was saying scullular and or whatever about a skull. You have the skulls in the card. That's funny. Some of you could look scary. Here we have waves of emotion, which is coming through for the Queen of Cups for looks, okay? Even the Eight of Cups, I feel like when you're overcome with dissatisfaction, you have no point but to keep moving forward. Because you're kind of like, you know, this ain't for me. I got to keep going, right? So we're in touch with your emotions as well. And that definitely tracks with your whole vibe, demeanor. I'm going places, don't play with me. We have past is the present. Very interesting. What does that mean? She's naked here again. Y'all walk around naked. Maybe you could. Or, you know, you show off a lot of skin, period. You wear revealing clothing. And she kind of looks lost. And look at how her face is like kind of shocked or surprised. You could like naturally have like beautiful like poses. Like if someone were to take a picture of you just looking regular, you would look like you're modeling for something because that's like your face could be very expressive in that way. Whether it comes to trying to serve or just looking off at a distance. Candid or planned it, okay? Here we have best wishes. And then we have side by side. Interesting. Maybe people compare themselves to you. Maybe you have a side bang, some of you, because I see a side bang moment going on in this card here. Very crazy to me. A side, not the bang. The bang? Oh. Okay. And a lot about people pining after you or at the riverside waiting for you. Because here we have the guy waiting for her at the riverside. And over here, we kind of have the same thing. He's in the water, though, in this instance, and she's on land. And over here, she's in the water and he's on land, whatever. But a side by side, there could be something here about people comparing themselves to you, you know, and they don't think they compare themselves to you and they don't not add up. They don't compare, whatever. Okay, so I'm also getting really big Alandria vibes from this group. So that could be something. Her waist be gone. Her cheekbones are out of this world. Her bone structure's out of this world. Like, she looks like she's a fake person. And that's the energy coming through here. Very foxy, you know, sharp lines. And she seems like a very no-nonsense person as well. So that's coming through. Let's keep going. This is the last deck. Don't you worry. I know this one was kind of long. I didn't expect it to be, but hey. Group 2. Please, Spirit, Group 2. I'll just take these two because I overpulled the other deck. Here we have naughty. Not us having naughty, and temptation. You always look like you're up to something. Tongue out, buns out, chest out. You could also have like really thick thighs or really big posterior, really big butt. And then we have overflowing wealth. Sagittarius vibes for sure. Okay. Buxom. Busty is the word. That's funny. And busty doesn't always mean big everywhere. It just means big in the places that people like. The boobs and the butt. Okay. There you go. The thigh area sometimes. That's funny. But overflowing wealth, maybe, I think this is like pretty straightforward. honestly. But I wasn't really getting this energy from anywhere else in the deck, but it's coming out. A little clarifier for something. And look at how we have the snake up devil. It's kind of scared. That could be the clarifier right there. The Queen of Swords is definitely giving this kind of energy. Like, don't play with me. I'll send my snake after you. You know? People who have snakes as pets, people who love snakes, and, it's kind of like, oh, interesting. It's not something that everybody likes. Okay, so I'll leave your reading right here, though. I hope it resonated. If it did, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, join the tribe. We'd love to have you. If you would ever like to book a personal reading with me, you could always get in contact with me using my email in the description box below. But I hope you're having a beautiful, wonderful day whenever you're watching this reading. And as always, I will see you gorgeous people in the next one. Mwah. Bye. Hello, my gorgeous group 3s. Welcome to your reading. If you chose thumbnail image 3, however you made your way here, thank you for joining me here today. Today's reading is going to be about how do men view you versus how women view you. We're going to be going over 3 categories for each prompt. So for how men view you, their first impression, how they view your appearance, and then your overall vibe. For women, same thing. First impression, how do they view your appearance, and your overall vibe. Okay, so we're gonna hoppity hop straight into it. They could view you as someone who's full of energy. I'm hearing a line from one of my favorite movies, Vivo, on Netflix, where the guy says to Vivo, "You're so full of music and life, and I have the perfect name for you, Vivo," which means I live to live. Okay, so let's get into it. How do men view my group 1's first impression, their first impression of them? Just one. Their first impression of my group 1, so maybe not just one. A lot of cards are coming through for that, but I'm not trying to go crazy here. I'm hearing nice to meet you, so they like meeting you. But their first impression of you is quite positive. They enjoyed meeting you. They enjoy meeting you. Present tense. And at the bottom, we have the sun. So I'll take that as confirmation. How do men view their physical appearance, please? Spirit, my group 3s. How do men view their physical appearance? Ten of Cups. Oh, 10 out of 10, eh? Period. Okay. And then your overall vibe. Their overall vibe. Please, Spirit, how do men view my group 3's overall vibe? The World. What? And the High Priestess. This is something, all right? Okay, let's get into it. So your first impression is the only thing that's like being a little shy. So they could be a little shy around you. So I guess we'll wait until we get into all of this to uncover the first impression. That's what I've been doing for group 1 and group 2. The cards that are turned over, we'll leave them. The ones that turned over first, we'll keep them. So I guess we'll start off with your physical appearance. It's kind of coming through as you have it all. You got the goods, okay? You have the meats, is what I just heard. Interesting. So you could be someone who's very meaty. Maybe they could look at you as meat and want to eat you. That could be the vibe coming through here. Their favorite meal, their dream meal, their last meal that I just heard as well. If they were to be sent to prison and they were about to be offed, that's weird, very weird, I know. What will their last meal be? It would be you. This is so interesting, period. So you're very physically attractive to men, right? It's kind of giving, that's the whole package right there, honestly. So yeah, there you go for that. And then we have a bunch of different types coming through. So we have like through the skinnier, this little girl here. So I'm getting, someone who's like smaller, right? And then, hold on, I'm getting distracted. And then we have, the busty, buxom woman right there. And then we have another buxy, buxom, but an older woman. So we have little, middle-aged, so it's giving maiden, mother, and crone. Okay? That's what it's giving here. Some of you have like a youthful sexiness to you. Some of you have like a mother middle-aged sexiness to you, or seasoned, homegrown. Yo, y'all people are so crazy because the messages are coming through crazy right now. Homegrown beauty to you, sexiness to you, and then others of you are giving like MILF, GILF, grandmother. You're a very attractive, mature woman. So either way, like I said, this person, these men will eat you up, okay? Like a delectable cookie. They just want to, right? Okay. That's pretty straightforward, honestly. Your physical appearance is very appealing to them. Okay, period. Now we're going to move on to their opinion of your overall vibe, okay? So two major arcana cards. So they think quite highly of you, or you're highly thought of, is what I'm hearing. That's a card from is it the Tea Leaf Oracles? Yes, one of the cards in there says you're highly thought of. So that's something that's coming through. So we have the World, and then we have the High Priestess. So the High Priestess is like a very serious, grown, mature, private kind of energy, where she doesn't really reveal everything about herself right away. Most of the time, she doesn't reveal anything right off the bat. It takes some digging and you earning her loyalty and her devotion, or the other way around. You wanting to earn hers. That's when she slowly opens up to you. So I do believe people see you as someone who's very private, but also very in tune with the world around you. You see things other people don't see. Okay, you notice things, you remember things, or you just know things that other people should not know, or should not be able to know, could not know. How do you know? Is what I'm hearing. You know what I mean? So there's something about them that you just get off right off the bat, and they're kind of like spooked. Like, wait, how did you know that? But then when it comes to reading you, they're kind of like, I can't get a read on you, right? So it could be very, disorienting, disconcerting, whatever word you want to use, where you're able to, at will read these men to filth, literally. Excuse me. And when they try to do the same for you, it's like a different story. They can't get anything from you, Very funny. Then we have the World here, where it's kind of like this is the apple of your eye kind of energy, where they don't see anybody else but you. And what do we expect when you're coming off as their dream woman, man, person, okay? You're everything they could ever want. Who's here? And that's what you embody. So when they do, like, their overall opinion of you is definitely someone they want to get a bite out of, someone that they can't help but gravitate towards and want to cater to and devote themselves to. So it's definitely giving goddess vibes, right? And it's funny because I was mentioning the triple moon goddess here. So you embody all characteristics of the feminine, which is the child, the maiden, and then the older woman. So you could embody all of those characteristics in you, right? I love this. This is refreshing. I love men who want to worship women, because why not? Oh my gosh, I'm just getting giddy and excited. So that could be your energy, or how they feel just to be in your presence, right? Some of you could smell like peppermint. So I put some oil in my hair before I left this morning. It's supposed to be like a scalp stimulator. And it just smells like peppermint. It smells so good. I like smelling like peppermint, I'm realizing. And there used to be this one perfume that I had from Bath and Body Works. It was like peppermint and something, and it was so good. Like, I've never seen it again, but I used to like not want to use it all, so I could wait for like the fall, winter just to spray it. It smelled so good, like peppermint candy. And I'm like, I love like smelling like that. So I loved smelling like that. So that could be something that you smell really good, or you're very stimulating, right? You're kind of like, or refreshing. You have like a little zing to you, because peppermint is all those things. It's refreshing. It refreshes the scalp. It refreshes everything else. It makes things smell fresh. You smell good. And then it also stimulates things, stimulates hair growth and stuff, and stimulates, the senses. When you smell peppermint or eat peppermint or whatever, I feel like it heightens the senses. So this is a very, very positive overall energy coming through for you guys, and how men view you. So your overall vibe and energy, or how they view you overall, is amazing, okay? But the World is definitely someone they like to watch. right? You could be very feminine here. And even if you do have some weight to you, because all the women in these cards so far do have, and even here, have some weight to them. And there are women in the deck that don't have weight to them at all. So it's definitely giving that vibe as well. Your overall vibe is someone who is spiritual, which is probably why they don't want to mess with you, right? And that's probably why you're able to stimulate them in all facets of the word, okay? Physically, mentally, emotionally. That's what that's coming through as well. Okay, period. And I do feel like I think those same things can like take up. So for example, you stimulate them, hold on, what did I say? See, I'm getting flustered. I'm like, what did I say? I don't remember. Stop. What did I say? Emotionally, physically, and mentally. Okay. So emotionally stimulating, I feel like a guy anyway would kind of be like the maiden in the triple moon goddess archetype, right? Because you kind of bring out their playful side, you have that bond immediately, and kids can like love anyone. And that's how we bring out in people. And then we have the mother, which is kind of like, I don't want to say physically for the mother. Maybe the maiden would be physically. Because that sounds weird. The mother will be emotionally, because we do form emotional bonds to people we consider to be our mother, or our mother's the first person we create a physical. Sure, not physical. I mean both. Honestly, both. You can. You know what? Let me stop trying to be extra. Okay, let me stop trying to be extra now, because you can create any of those bonds with any of the archetypes. The crone too. She can get down with the get down. She can get physical when she wants. She knows some things, so you can definitely have a tete-a-tete, a mental spar with her mentally. You know what I mean? But she can also make you feel emotionally comfortable like your grandmother does. Let me stop trying to be extra. We're gonna leave it there. You have a playful side, a sexy womanly side, then you have an older, wise crone side. That's how they see you. All those things in one, right? Okay. And they have like just a very high opinion of you, right? Because we have the world here, right? Whew, boy. There we go. And it's also giving the world is the last major arcana card. So it's kind of like the final boss in a video game where you beat all the other ones and then you met the final boss of women. And it's kind of like, oh, you know what I mean? You kind of get gagged a little bit. Okay. So that's coming through for that. I could go on forever, honestly. I'm trying not to. And then we have butterflies here, which like it's like blooming and like transformation as well. It's also new life. So that can be an energy as well. You can be, like I said, I think I did mention that your soul is very lively, right? Okay. Whew. But the high priestess says, when in doubt, your first gut feeling can always be trusted. So you do go with your gut in all things. And that's something that they notice in your overall vibe, right? You have a really good first instinct as well. You know the people who are good people, the people who are not good people. You could also, you're really good at choosing things and winning, or just good intuition in general. Like, how some people say they're like those intuitive games on Instagram sometimes, because they're kind of like, oh, choose the the picture that has a flower in it when you scroll to it, and you have to choose between 3 pictures, and then you do choose it every time. That's kind of coming through. I kind of butchered the explanation, but I think you get the gist of it, hopefully, right? And then we're at the first impression here. We got 3 cards for that. The most we've gotten for any one prompt. So forgive me, group 1 and group 2. Don't tell them, hush. Okay. We have the Knight of Wands. So lively energy, a little bit of a rebel. Look at that. Excuse you. Like you kind of knock them over. That's so crazy. You kind of like knock them over, knock them on their feet, or knock them off something off their axis. Okay. Okay, Knight of Wands. Then we have 3 of Pentacles. You get along good with people. So you're just a good, overall good time, and you get along with everyone is the kind of energy coming through for you guys for your first impression. And then we have the Ace of Pentacles. So you're able to build strong bonds with people. And that's something they can definitely appreciate with how they view you, okay? You have a good core group of friends. That could be something coming through for you guys, okay? You have this rebellious, really playful, childlike side to you. Okay, but then also, like I said, you have the high priestess coming through, which means you're not just all wit and humor and gags and giggles, but you do have your time and place for that. But the Knight of Wands says sometimes you have to be willing to bend the rules a little bit. The Knight of Wands is doing whatever he needs to do to get what he wants. Can be borderline selfish, you know what I mean? But hey, you own up to it at least, is what I just heard. Funny. Okay, their first impression, rebellious, playful. Not mean. I don't think it's giving mean. It's just giving not prickly either, but those are words that are coming through. So those could be, you know, true for some men who meet you. You're a little mean, prickly, standoffish, you know, combative in some kind of way, competitive, definitely, with the Knight of Wands coming through here. Passionate, right? Maybe loud. It could be vibes coming through as well. Yeah, then we have the Three of Pentacles, which is someone who works well with others, right? I do believe you could, like, not an evil mastermind spirit, please. So what is going on here? Like, you bring people together is the kind of vibe that's coming through. And I love how this is just a first impression. They're kind of like, they're surrounded by great people. They're spunky, they're loud, they're vibrant, they're funny. Like, what more could I want? And I do feel like their first impression kind of leads to them thinking they're the whole package. Because Ten of Cups is not just physical looks. It's emotional health and wealth and well-being, you know? That's what Ten of Cups means, getting everything you want emotionally. And I feel like their first impression kind of gives them that vibe that you would be everything they would want physically and emotionally. You're cute. But you could see somebody who's cute and they could be a horrible person. They're seeing you, you're cute, you're attractive, you're whatever you are to them. And then you also are surrounded by great people. Good vibes. You know, you attract people. People are coming into the bar and just immediately gravitating towards you guys and talking. You made 10 friends in one night. And they're kind of like, wow, like they like watching you work. Like you could literally be working behind the bar or like in the bar as a patron or not in the bar at all. You could be anywhere and you just make friends quite easily, you know? People gravitate towards you. That's that a very attractive Knight of Wands, spunky kind of energy, you know what I mean? Okay, so even before we get to the physicality of it, when they first meet you, first impression, okay, this person has good vibes, right? Then we have the Ace of Pentacles, which is definitely building foundations and stable and steady. So you're someone who is not only like going after what you want and a little mischievous, but you're also really mature and grounded in the energy. You're not someone who's walking around tooting your own horn. You're not someone who's too self-involved, too full of themselves. You're someone who's like very like equally balanced or well balanced. You know, everyone has a little bit of cockiness to them because as we have the other Knight of Wands here, so yes, right? But then you kind of balance that off with being a really good people person. You know how to talk to people, you know, create conversation. And there's an energy here of finding common ground with people, with everyone, you know? So being a little bit eclectic in a way, or creative or something. Or, the word isn't creative that I'm looking for. Outgoing? Exploratory? You explore different things? Yeah, because some people find something they like and kind of stick to it. You're someone who's always trying different things. You could be someone who likes every kind of genre of music. And when you meet different people, no matter what genre of music they like, you could find an artist or a song that they would love because you listen to all kinds of music, right? You dabble in all kinds of things. You have the world coming through here. You are worldly. You're experienced, you know? Some of you, it means older. Others of you, it just means you have this way with people, with the world, you know? Which leads to you being very grounded. And I do believe the Ace of Pentacles here is also meaning how you're so sure of yourself, you know? I'm hearing unscrupulous, whatever that means. That word just came through real crazy. Maybe you use big words, right? Unscrupulous. I think there's something here about like when you don't have any scruples, you just do whatever you want. I think that's what the word means. Don't quote me. Okay, so yeah, that's what's coming through here. You're someone who's very grounded, and someone who's very mature, and someone who knows who they are as well. Okay, so then we have the Ace of Pentacles. Wow, what an abundant opportunity. People just want to get to know you because they know it would be worth it, you know? You could also talk really fast. I find myself talking quite fast in this reading and not tripping up my words as I would usually if I talk fast, you know? Okay, so we have this coming through for you guys. Now we're going to move on to the women's perspective. I kind of want to stay in the men's perspective. So men have a pretty high view of you. Great. We're going to move on. And how do these women out here feel? How do the women view you? Yeah, you're untethered, unbound. the computer's off, that's why. So now we're going to get into the women side of things. What's women's first impression of my group threes? Please, Spirit. What are women's first impression of my group threes? The freaking bleeping 10 of cups. I know you're lying. What? I have, and the Queen of Pentacles. This is amazing, guys. Who are you, group three? I love you already. This is amazing. The both men and women are seeing you as like the full package, essentially. Very well-rounded, very graceful. You make them feel like something. You know what I mean? That little zing I was talking about with the peppermint comment. A little zing, you know? And a healthy zing, because there are unhealthy zings, you know? Okay? We have the 10 of Cups and the freaking Queen of Pentacles. This is beyond me. Okay. Let's keep going. How do women view their appearance? Please, Spirit, for my group threes. And they're quite chatty. The Tower. So it's kind of giving maybe intimidating. What is the, not show-stopping. Could be show-stopping. But it's kind of like the kind of beauty that stops you in your tracks. Where it's like dangerous. Deadly. Yeah. I'm hearing the Deathly Hallows. From Harry Potter, you know, the Deathly Hallows, where they were beautiful and very attractive and everyone wanted them, but everyone who ever acquired or attained them died. You know, that lore. Dangerous. What's that song coming through? Wild and dangerous. Is it hot and dangerous? If you're one of us, then roll with us, because we make the hipsters fall in love. That song by Cashapp. Glitter on the but let's go. Tonight we're going down, 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 down. Nobody's going down, we'll be forever young. We are who we are. That energy about you, that I am who I am, take your leave me kind of energy. So take me, baby. Let me stop, I'm not singing it right. Oh my gosh, I butchered that. I apologize. Take me or leave me from Rent is coming through. I forget who's, I think it's Idina Menzel and the black lady. I don't really remember her name right now, but it's kind of like take me or no, or leave me, whatever. But that song was coming through. I haven't watched Rent enough to really know the songs that well, besides the songs that I know. Okay. And then these three are coming through for their overall vibe and their opinion. Wow. This reading's going a little crazy, eh? Okay. So, I don't even know where to start. I won't start everywhere, okay? So, like I already said, the Queen of Pentacles is something really graceful, motherly, down-to-earth, you know, natural beauty about you. Their first impression, right? Abundant, stable, grounded, friendly is what I'm getting. Someone who is a natural-born teacher and leader. Nurturer. I just heard John the Conqueror, so that could be important for somebody here. I do believe that pertains to like root work and hoodoo, so some of you could be that, and that person is kind of like, is it your patron? So when people see you or view you, they view you highly because you're from, I don't know, I'm trying to articulate it and it's not coming out right. So basically you're maybe a devotee to John the Conqueror and he comes through in your energy because you're a child of his, right? The same way like a devotee of Aphrodite would be someone who's very beautiful because you're, you know, you're her or him or them, period, right? Or you like, which is the smart one? The smart one. Athena. Okay, you could be Athena, you're a devotee of her, so when people think of you, they see you through her, you know, they see her through you, whatever. I'm sure you understand, okay? Or Artemis, you're wild free, you're a huntress, right? That kind of energy, it just depends, but John the Conqueror was coming through, John. Now, and then I guess Aphrodite, Artemis, and Athena is coming through as well, but anyway, keep going. All those things mixed together, you're giving goddess vibe. That's what I was kind of getting. People want to devote themselves to you. That's what I was kind of seeing or saying with the High Priestess. Men want to just like, you know, I'm not worthy. Okay, that's enough. I'm tired. Maybe you could be someone who like your social battery like runs out really quickly as well, because I'm like, you know what, I'm ready to be done with these readings. I'm like, I'm a little tired, you know what I mean? Right? Okay, anywho, let's keep going. 10 of Cups, you know, full package, dream girl, dream guy, just dreamy in general, right? I'm hearing McDreamy, okay, from Grey's Anatomy, how he was like a very popular doctor in the hospital, right? Because of his looks, but he was also a really good doctor, you know, Derek Shepherd, okay? Not too much on him. Just like an overall decent guy. I wouldn't say he was the best guy, because he was playing in Meredith's face many a time, okay? But he was like a likable person. We'll leave it at that. People can be crappy people, but everyone loves them, right? That's what I kind of get with Derek Shepherd. It's like, anywho, yeah, that's the kind of vibe coming to them. We have the Queen of Pentacles, which is someone who's like very just like motherly, open. You would feed everyone, you would teach everyone, you know, bring everyone in. That's what I was kind of getting with this whole Three of Pentacles. You're always surrounded by warmth and love and joy. Maybe there's like a little bit of an aura that surrounds you, and the people by association who you're with, or the people who you're with by association. That sounds much better. Makes more sense as well. There's like a warmth that follows you around, which is why you twice now. We have the 10 of Cups. Ugh, this is just beautiful, okay? Yes. I'm also hearing like, what's the word for people who are like always out in society? It's like a debutante? No. Could be. We'll just call it someone who is a part of society. But like high society. That's the Queen of Pentacles vibe. A part of high society, you know? You're the perfect stay-at-home mom. You always seem like you have everything together. You know, your husband always comes to freaking work with the best lunches. So do your kids. Like, your house is perfect, not a speck of dust anywhere. You have amazing friends. You go on vacations. You vacation in Cancun and Saint-Tropez and now Amalfi Coast, and it just gives a rich, elegant vibe. I love this reading. The vibes here are just immaculate, you know? Like, I'm ready to go, but I also wouldn't mind staying here, you know? That's the kind of energy coming through. People could be ready to go home and, like, leave your house or leave your energy, your presence. They're like, you know, I can stay for 10 more minutes. And then 10 more minutes turns into 2 hours because they feel so comfortable, at ease, you know? It's kind of like a soldier who's been at war his whole life, comes back home to a home-cooked meal and his foot being rubbed. Not saying you rub feet. You could. I don't know your life. But it's like hold on. I'm getting too excited here. That was funny. Not saying you rub feet, but you could, you know. They come home to a home-cooked meal, you're snuggling them in bed, you're spoiling them. That's the kind of energy. Like, I don't want to leave here. Why would I want to leave here? Why would I want to go back to war? That's ghetto, you know? Okay. That's what I'm getting for your first impression, okay? Oh, boy. Yes. It's kind of giving those uppity moms where, you know, you meet the mom kind of moment, but the mom is kind of like, is she gonna like me because everyone in the community respects her kind of energy, you know? Yeah, that's what I'm getting for y'all. But for how they view your appearance, what came through the Tower, yeah, you're just like, I don't know, a little bit, not volatile, but scary when it comes to, I guess, your physical appearance. Especially if you always seem to be so put together and elegant, it can be a bit intimidating. There's a word that's trying to come through, but I can't hear it all the way. For the Tower, like when it comes to your look, there's a word that I'm thinking of. Catastrophic, maybe? Because dangerous doesn't really fit. It's kind of like it sneaks up on you in a scary way. Like, how can I explain it? I can't. Like, you'll look at someone and their first impression is Queen of Pentacles, like they're unassuming. But then the more you kind of get to know them, the more the savage side comes out. The more you realize just how perfect and prim and proper they actually are. It's kind of like you look at somebody from across the room and they look like their makeup is immaculate. Their clothes is like no wrinkle, no nothing. Their body is like tea. like the outfit is perfect, like their friends are beautiful. And they're kind of like, no, it's because I'm so far away. Let me move a little bit closer. And the closer you get, the more you realize that, wow, you just keep getting hit by their beauty and their charisma and their aura. It's kind of like, wait, so what's wrong with you? Like, is there anything wrong? Are you not just, are you not, is one boob not bigger or smaller than the other? Like, do you not have like flab anywhere? Like that kind of energy? Are there no imperfections? That's the kind of pretty you're giving, no imperfections, but everyone is imperfect in some kind of way. You know what I mean? Even if you do, like, nobody's saying you have the perfect body or anything, but it's kind of like lethal. That's the word. Thank you. Lethal beauty. Where it's just as intimidating as it is beautiful and mesmerizing. You can have like a lethality to you, if that's even a word. A lethality where it's like, oh yeah, this person seems very, I could talk to them, you know what I mean? It's giving, yeah, Aaron Burr, unassuming mofos out here. Because I think it's like giving when he was running for the election in Hamilton, where it's like, he's so approachable. Like, you can have a beer with him. You know what I mean? And that's the kind of vibe you give. But then at the end of the play, we see just how miserable and lethal Aaron Burr really is. He really snuffed out Hamilton's life because of bare jealousy. Not saying you're jealous at all, right? But it's definitely giving someone who seems, oh, he's so approachable. You can grab a beer with him. And the more you get to know them, the more you see they're not as innocent as they appear. That could be your thing. You look innocent, like physically, but the more people get to know you, the more your looks kind of intertwine with who you are as a person. It's kind of like this person is not innocent as they seem. They're more lethal than that, That's the vibe coming through for y'all. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Like a kind of like a unassuming. What's unassuming in the world that can be dangerous? An unassuming, I don't know, dolphin, right? Dolphins are cute, unassuming, whatever. And then you be hearing some horror stories about these dolphins, how they be raping people in the sea and pulling people down. I'm like, dolphins? What do you mean? Like calculating in a way, So some people that have like a little bit of cutesy to them, but then have not a little bit of ugly. Spirit is crazy. Yo, I'm gonna slap them up, because what do you mean? Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. A little bit of ugly to them. That could be your vibe, honestly, for somebody here. I can't speak for everyone in this pile. Maybe some of you have a little bit of ugly to you that kind of makes you more down to earth. But the tower is kind of like giving like groundbreaking, intimidating kind of for your appearance, right? Some of you can have really long, curly, luscious hair, okay? It's really curly because we can see in this, that's really curly. Okay, and then here you have heart. You're very flowery and girly and pretty. Maybe you could do everything yourself. Maybe everything on your body you've done yourself. You done your nails, you did your hair, you put together your outfit, you made the outfit, you did your makeup, and everything is flawless. People are kind of like, so where'd you get the outfit from? I made it. Your makeup, I made that too. It's giving Nara Smith, how she makes everything from scratch, and it's kind of like, okay, great. Good for you. You just seem to have it all together, huh? Right? But that she seems really well-meaning. But the Tower card is not a well-meaning card. It's a destructive, disastrous card. Or thrown off kilter, at least, kind of card. Okay, so take a resonates in that. But really curly hair, really thick eyebrows. Not thick, but, defined. Arched is what I'm hearing, okay? Your grooming is very important to you. So you definitely self-groom. Everything that about you, your hair, this is a beautiful haircut. I did it myself. That makeup, who did your makeup? Me. Those earrings, where'd you get them from? I made them. That outfit, oh my gosh, it's so cute. I did it yesterday. Those shoes, I made them too. Like, okay, what did you not make? What's up? Like, get out of here. A little too perfect could be the vibe. A little too well put together. To where it may seem pretentious at times, We're moving on. Now we have your overall vibe. Don't start with me, phone. Let me finish. I'll fight. Trying to sabotage. Okay. Some of you, a little bit of ugly could be a thing as well, because we have this skull here, and the skull is done up to look a little bit better because skulls by themselves are kind of scary, right? But then they're done up and he has makeup on and, flowers and all that kind of stuff to make him look a little bit cuter, right? Okay, like they paint the skulls on Dia de los Muertos, that kind of energy, where the skulls to be on their own kind of scary, but when you do it up and paint it a little bit, they're kind of cute. You know? Okay, anywho. Now, their overall vibe and opinion, we have justice, right? So we have that intimidating, very serious, stoic kind of vibe coming through. Not even stoic. I'm hearing sterile, where your opinion like never wavers. You know what I mean? You never fall. Your hands never shake and tremble. They're just like that. You know what I mean? We have 9 of freaking cups, which is a wish come true. So your overall vibe is, I want to be that person. You know how women view you anyway. I want to have my life as together as her. I want to have my lucky. I want to have my kids. I want to have my big house. I want to have my doting husband. And I want to have like all those things. You know what I mean? Not saying you want to be Nara Smith, right? But I just feel like from the outside looking in, she seems to have everything a quintessential woman should want. The happy husband, the kids, the looks, the beauty, the whatever, right? But if you see underneath, she's not perfect because she has like a lot of, underlying sicknesses and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Okay, so justice, very fair, very balanced, very just, very reasonable. You like to listen to reason. Yeah, you're not someone who's like going off of whatever. You like to listen to reason, okay? So logical as well. Here we have 9 of cups. I want to be that person when I get older. This vibe is coming through. I want to look like her, act like her, get her man, have her house. Those are the kind of vibes coming through. Have her life, have her, even if your life isn't the best, I want to have her surety. I want to have her confidence. I want to have her something or the other. I want to have her friend group, her family. There's something about you that other women like and want in the overall vibe with the 9 of cups, okay? They just want to be your friend, period, okay? And then we have strength. Look at how you're sitting here taming not only a lion, but a wolf. Who does that? Where? Your strength is something that comes out in your overall vibe. And then look, we have like a little bit of a kangaroo. Like you know you love animals and animals like you. And I love how we have all brown-skinned women coming through this overall vibe. Because period, who run the world? Let me stop. Okay, put that there. Brown skin girl. Your skin bright like pearl. Best thing in the world. I'll never trade you for anybody else. Singing. That song was coming through. And just look at the style on her. Come on. Serve. Slay. You're wearing a whole magnifying glass around your neck as a necklace? Who does that? Who could pull that off? Besides you, group 3. Jesus. Okay. She looked really, put together here too. This little 2-piece number with the earrings coming through a lot. You love you a good earring. Even in this card here, the Tower card, she's wearing like hands for earrings. And that's really cute in my opinion. And then we have an owl in the back of the Justice card. So your stone is very wise and smart, right? Like I said, just, fair, balance. We have the strength, strong, 9 of cups. You get what you want. You just seem happy. Life seems good for you, group 3. That's their overall vibe. You're having a good time. You're living your dream, essentially. Or you're living their dream. So we're going to get some cards from this deck really quickly to see if we can get any confirmation for the rest of the spread. This is neither men nor women anymore. We're just confirming some of the messages we got in the spread, okay? Or both spreads. Group 3, please, Spirit, can we get some cards for them from this deck? Let's get some cards. Not too many now. Don't do that. Yeah, you seem in command, in control. I'm hearing in demand as well. I love this card. It came out of group 2. Great. 2-2. That's great for me. Okay, so we have wayward paths. And then we had overflowing wealth. Look at how we have this haggard lady, but then we also have this beautiful, gorgeous goddess here. Like no matter what you do, you can do no wrong. No matter what you do, you can do no wrong. Love this for you. You could have had like a lot of life experiences as well. coming through with this wayward path. Like you've been through a lot of different things. That's that worldly vibe coming through for you that came through earlier with the world. You could just seem lost in your own world as well, you know? And then we have overflowing wealth. So you do come through as someone who's like, you know, a little bit wealthier. You have your life together. Let's bring this card over here so you can still see it. I love this card. Another brown skinned beautiful queen here. Goddess. I just heard Nubian goddess. That's funny. Some of you could be that you have really nice skin for some of you as well. Some of you could have like tattoos on your face, wrinkles on your face, not taken away from the baddie factor at all, especially if you're older. Makes you more seasoned, okay? Here we have best wishes. Look at that, the 9 of Cups. Best wishes. People truly just wish you well, honestly. They have like men, women, they have a really good opinion of you overall, right? They just want you to keep living your best life because you give them, you know, what is it called? The juice they need to continue trying to live their best life as well, okay? And then here we have temptation, period. This came through group 2. Some of you could be from group 2, you know, because we have repeating cards. Okay, but yeah, temptation. Look at how she's looking at them. Oh, there's something here about a stare you give. This one is kind of like, I'm better than you. This one is kind of like, try me, ho. And this one's just like, I'm that girl. Let me stop. I'm not gonna fool. But they have 3 distinctly different expressions. I had to put them out, okay? So I'm going to leave your reading right there. I hope it resonated if it did. And then the body's bodying under the water. And then we have a skull coming through again, right? And that's what I pointed out for group 2 as well. So some of you are from group 2. What up? What up? Anyway, I hope this reading resonated. If it did, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the tribe. We'd love to have you. If you would ever like to book a personal reading with me, you could always get in contact with me using my email in the description box below. But I hope you're having a beautiful, wonderful day whenever you're watching this reading. And as always, I will see you gorgeous people in the next one. Mwah. Bye.